Alright, and welcome back again to session 23, Sins of the Past. The last time, your group finally, after escaping from the ship via small little rowboats, and using your compasses and directions and the senses of sin close to what you now know as its home, in some strange way, the anchor. You came upon a small, sandy beach with a giant geode half submerged in the water, large enough that likely the ship itself could have sailed through should you have brought it, but you did not. There was a large pouring of water that was flowing out of the geode itself, and you could see in it the portal with nothing but a white light behind it. Seeing little else to do here other than go in, you all got your oars and rowed against the current and into this portal, where it felt like each of you was twisting and tearing and compressing and being crushed all at the same time. Lights and colors and worlds swirled around you, and the world swirled around you. As you suddenly found yourselves being ejected from the center of this massive whirlpool in this strange new place. You quickly came up to a dock not far from the edge of this whirlpool, where you're able to tie off and take in your surroundings. Around you, you saw the white dome-like shape of some sort of pure white, bright substance, giving off the equivalent of daylight, illuminating this whole interior cavern or section of whatever this place is. Around you seemed to stand some sort of city, this in architecture and construction, with the tall, rectangular spires that twist and end in points in the top. Painted black, not made of the same black stone, however. Even the roads, the streets, the docks, many of the things around you, all solid material aside from this dome, seemed to be made of what RJ figured out was hang rock a while back. Allowed to grow, apparently shaped and cultured into these structures in this town itself. You saw another thing along the dome itself, a giant crack raising from one side of the city up and into the near the top center of it, with many fractures and spirals out from it, where the center of these cracks were all this deep blue-green color, and on the edges this slightly clearer color, allowing, from this distance, not the greatest view of what led beyond the dome, but there was some sort of dark, shifting movement that could be seen. Almost like if you're walking alongside a fence with gaps in it and you're catching small little glimpses of what lies beyond. From there, after taking in your surroundings and communicating with Sin as to what's next, it seems in the time that Sin has been here last, whether through his weakening power or through some sort of aging effect, he has forgotten much of what he used to know. And as you guys started to explore the city, he recalled that there was some sort of temple, some sort of place, his home, he called it, that you needed to find. And that from there, he might be able to help uncover what is going on in this anchor that you have found yourselves in. As you wandered the town, you saw that it was barren, desolate, the hang rock in places where it was able to continue to regrow and spread, causing strange, lumpy formations to what would have once been a clean, smooth, carved, and maintained road or house or door or window. Now lies not so much in ruin, but in overgrowth. Not much in the way of plant life or dirt or animals or birds or nothing of that nature could be found here. Just a cold, mostly quiet, empty city. The only sounds for those that can hear, that surrounded you was the raging torrent of the whirlpool in the center of the town itself, and the almost hinging like creaking sound that is coming from the dome itself. Like something were stressing the exterior of it. The dome itself only being a mile wide in diameter, from what you can tell, roughly. It was not too much to start exploring. However, you notice that about half of this area is submerged to varying degrees. There are many floods and places where the town is entirely consumed with water. But on some of the drier section, you guys searched around for a few hours, not even finding bodies, and eventually came upon this road that had a staircase and a platform of coral, of hang rock that rose. And when Sin saw this place, he recognized it as the temple. A moment before that, though, you had reached the edge of what this dome was and were able to physically see that it was an actual physical barrier, whatever this white substance is. Where Sin explained a little bit about it, that it was white astron, that what he is now is but a former piece of what he used to be, something larger, something greater, and that his old self is in a way this white substance, and that with the Vith and the dwarves, he was aided in constructing this place for reasons he couldn't quite remember. Something of protecting the nature of energy and its flow, or something of that. So, you had discovered the temple with a little bit of backstory from Sin as he touched the white edge and remembered a few things. He approached the doors, laid his hands upon it, used some of his divine energies, and the doors slid open, with many runes beginning to light and flitter and filter in on the place itself. Where initially, you found yourselves all in this opening chamber. Partially flooded, there was this circular chamber, and in the center of it, this hang rock material trap door with water that seems to be bulging against its weight and pouring into the room itself from underneath. When you'd open the door, a torrent, a good amount of water flooded down the stairs behind you. And as you entered in, you had Sin shut the doors behind. You took a few moments, adjusted, and with the lighting of the runes that he was able to activate alongside the bottom sections of the walls, it showed this corridor, this pathway, which eventually led you into this room. A hall that is lined with alcoves, many of them covered with window-like surfaces, allowing viewing as to what lies within. There are these lines of softly white glowing material that stream off from the alcove in these swooping lines and swirls, very fluid and wavy almost, that run along the walls and ceilings and finally collect in towards the central pillars of the chamber itself, in reminiscence of the way the dwarves used the metallic, the metals in their architecture, where it's like running lines of energy that they seem to use. So too, this white astron substance seems to be used in the same way. The walls of this section seem to also be in particular disrepair, as the hang rock itself seemed to jet out in strange angles and from its overgrowth. And there was a chill mist that clung to the floor of this chamber. Without much time to really look inside any of these alcoves or really see or discover much of anything, a number of these crabs had begun to be seen sitting in some of the empty alcoves and in some of these side chambers. Initially, you all tried to carefully move past them and towards these stones or these hang rock stairs up to the north of you. However, Taween, kind of taking a defensive posture up in front of them, perhaps got a little too close, or perhaps it was just inevitable that they were going to attack. perhaps seeing you as a snack or a source of food, they leapt with a screech to attack. As dozens of these crabs starting to pour in out of the alcove, out of the side chambers, and surround and tear and claw and rip and vice and grip and grab and tear you all down. Their claws themselves carried this chilling touch that froze one to the bone who was touched by them. But in the end, just barely all of you surviving. Nithirn, with incredible hits, dancing and porting and jumping between the crabs, saved Fizz's life and ended the threat, along with Taween and Wizrun holding off the other side. We pick up now, just in this aftermath, where you guys have expended basically all of your healing capabilities to get everybody just above that threshold of critical, where movement itself is deadly. And all breaks silent again. Wizrun is sitting up against the wall here beneath an alcove, kind of just clutching one of his legs, his thighs, that has been gashed asunder. You're muted, Dead.
I'll sign. That didn't go too well.
Oh, no, but that ends.
Here's an odd question. Did any of you guys think to bring any food with you?
I'm fine. I'm covered.
Have some rations if you're hungry.
Yeah, I didn't think that we would be gone as long as we've been. So I'm gonna take a interesting look at them. There are crabs.
Yeah.
Are they edible? Safe to eat? Because they're magical, will they kill me if I eat them?
Fizz, you bend down and like crack open one of the legs of one, and like the shell itself is cold to the touch, but not so much that it hurts you. You crack it open and see some of the meat. Got this bluish tint to it, but it's crab meat. Looks safe to eat. From what you can tell of the magical nature of it, there's perhaps a lot of that was connected to its life and its essence in that sense. But there's still this cool mist that pours off of their carapaces.
I don't know. I'll stuff some of the smaller crabs into my bag.
Okay. They weigh about 4 pounds a pop, for however many you want to grab.
4 pounds. I don't know that I could be carrying that many.
Good luck with that.
You can go into light or medium and heavy loads. It just reduces your speed, gives you some armor check penalty, and reduces the maximum dexterity bonus you have to defense if it's high enough.
Where is that even? Oh,
It's in your equipment area. And you can always do what I do and just drop your pack during the fight.
Oh, I have capacity. I have quite a bit of capacity, actually.
Reginald, as you come around that corner, you see that that Sin is peeking around and kind of beginning to, like, without the sounds of combat anymore, peek his way back in.
Yeah.
everyone all right?
Oh, oh,
We're alive.
That is good.
all hurt.
Yes, but you are alive.
Some of us are. How are you two?
Oh, we are fine. We hid in the initial chamber. Waited for the sounds of battle to fall. Willie's a bit frightened, but he'll be alright.
That's good. Uh, wouldn't be able to heal some of us a bit more, would you? I know Wizroon could use.
I
Oh,
might have a little bit I can help with, but my power is waning, and I will need it for what's to come.
understood. I go back and I'd attend Wizroon's gash that you said he has. Doesn't bleed while he walks.
He's not in critical, but he is
I'm just bandaging him up type thing.
just some like basic first aid. Yeah. Sin kind of peeks in. Willie, it's all right. Come up, boy. It looks like they're all dead now. As you're bandaging him, Wizard's just up against the wall. Oh, that did not go well at all.
Oh, what the? I think I'm tapped out for the day.
I think
Yeah,
we're all tapped out
so
for the
am
day.
I.
I'm just surprised how well this cavern held. That was a that was a lot of bombs.
You can see that there's like little scorch marks here and there on the hang rock itself, but it's very similar to rock, so there's a
That's
few
why I'm
marks.
surprised.
I think we should go back a little bit. I don't know if going forward's the best plan right now.
At least to the main entrance, I think.
Main entrance was flooding.
And we row back into the vortex. Would we be safe
Probably.
there?
I mean, probably. Like there was water in the main entrance, but I don't think it was like it was just flowing through the building, wasn't it?
Oh, you mean the
When we
temple?
when we
Yeah,
opened
the
the
temple.
door, it flowed out.
Yeah.
Could appropriate one of those houses on the way here.
Yep, nobody was using them. Somebody will have to keep an eye on that crack, I guess. That tells me if it breaks, that's not good. So perhaps closer to the vortex than the temple.
Maybe. Sen, how are you? Do you think you can last another day? You said that your power was waning.
Oh, my power, while we are here in this space, will not wane, but it will not grow either.
Do we think this building is still dangerous?
How much noise we've made? I think something would have popped out by now.
I'm not willing to wait around to find out.
we should appropriate a house if we're going to rest.
Yeah.
Sin
Should
comes
we
over.
bring...
Sin moves over and bends down in front of Wizrin and does a small amount of healing toward him.
So, Fizz, are the crabs edible?
Sorry, what?
Are the crabs edible?
Are the crabs edible? Is that what you're asking me? Sorry, I might have.
That is what I'm asking you.
Okay. I mean, I'm not sure at this point, but I picked up a couple to throw on the fire to see what happens.
Might as well pick up a couple, save on some food if we're rest up.
The small ones are about 4 pounds.
Thanks for the knowledge.
How are you going to start a fire? What are you going to burn?
Good question. I don't think we've seen any wood. Well, there was a shipwreck in the bay, right? That's gotta be to have some dry wood on it. It's been there for who knows how long.
Wasn't it just me asking? Wasn't it underwater?
It was also overgrown with hang rock, from what you saw.
Yeah.
Oh. I thought it was like sticking out partially. I mean, I'll look for some wood, I guess. I don't know.
Where do you search for?
Here. I'm gonna move one of these crabs, one of the small crabs. That crab. I'm gonna set it in this alcove, and then I'm gonna cast spark on it and see if it burns.
You begin casting spark and trying to ignite this crab, and it's more equivalent to, as the spark hits its shell over and over and over and over again in the same spot, it's more akin to ice melting, and you kind of melt away the carapace from the heat.
What happens to the
In
meat
that
inside?
spot.
Does the meat melt as well, or?
No, it chars a little.
Okay. Well, might take all day, but I might be able to just do this to cook them. I'm okay for food. I don't know. Does anybody else know how to cast spark?
Fizz, as you're doing that and you're like sparking at this alcove, you catch this alcove to your right, and you see behind the glass-like window, looks like a figure.
Okay.
A
I'm going
humanoid figure, like the head of it.
Is the head like attached to something?
It looks like it's a body, or a corpse, perhaps, that has been laid in this alcove, like a burial of some sort, perhaps. You can see it looks mostly decayed and withered.
Okay.
From what you can tell. It looks sunken, at least. There's some sort of like shroud over it as well. But it looks like a corpse. And it doesn't look like it has the fullness that a normal corpse would have. Like, you can see the sunken indents like around the stomach and...
I mean... Well, guys, I feel like this is perhaps the catacombs, because there appears to be a dead body here, pointing to the alcove.
Also make perception.
Nothing I've seen before.
Could have used those rolls last time.
Well, it's not combat anymore. You can go back to having high rolls.
I know. Fantastic.
Is you know how, like on a window pane, it's cold outside, it's warm inside, and you walk up to it and you're breathing on it, and there's that like bit of fog that accumulates and then it fades away.
Yeah.
There's that sort of effect on this window pane that this corpse is in.
Okay, guys, I don't think we should hang around in here anymore. That corpse appears to be breathing. And I will start go to leave.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea.
You see Willie like tucked around the corner as you shift past him. He's just like hiding.
This road, I told you to protect this one.
Yes.
He dies, he's on you.
He was protected. He hung back in the cave. He stayed safe.
Just reminding you, I didn't think it was a good idea to bring him.
He's fine. Willie, did you learn anything from that? Hopefully you're taking notes. Willie's just like, I peeked around the corner a couple times.
What'd you see?
It looked awful.
You see me cut my hand and cast magic?
No. I just heard lots of screeching from the crabs. It was like
They're like
dying rabbits.
Yeah. More like a crab, but okay.
I signed us in. This is the place you need to come to, though, correct?
I believe so, yes.
There could be more dangers. I agree. Everybody looks bad. Need to rest.
Understood.
So,
We left the doors open, so I guess we'll look out on the street and look for a house nearby.
yeah,
Go ahead, RJ.
I should find a house and barricade it when we're inside, just in case.
As you guys are stepping out and back onto the staircase that leads down maybe 30 feet or so, you can see out across the dome from you the giant crack that has existed there since your arrival. You can see now, however, there's this one shape. There's something writhing on the other side near the base. You can see some sort of tentacle-like thing that is within the town, and you see it squirming around off in the distance.
Trying to get through the dome or already through the dome?
Like it partially is through the dome and is wiggling on the inside.
Guys.
We may not have time.
Yeah.
Let's go back.
I think we're going to have to push forward.
I strongly advise against this, but alright.
I mean, what choice do we have, Taween?
Maybe it's friendly.
If it's trying to break that dome down, I don't think it's friendly, Taween.
You don't know
You
that.
never know.
We're going to be in a huge disadvantage if we run into anything.
Well, let's just let Nithirn take the lead then.
I can't rage anymore either.
Yeah, I'm out of. We blinked out of existence.
You moved into where I was clicking as I clicked. There, clean it up for you guys. Assume the other three are behind you, close by. I'll move them when need be.
Okay. So I'm peeking. I'm peeking.
Yeah. So as you round that corner, you come into a section that looks like it hasn't been overgrown. The hang rock here remains smooth and even textured in places. The runes still light up the bases of the walls, and you can see deeper within some sort of channel. You can hear the sound of water coming from around the left side of the door, sound of falling water, running water. You can see a door across the way. Two little pillars stand at the top and bottom, or the left and right of the doorway, kind of holding up the sections of the walls, perhaps, or perhaps they're decorative in nature.
Before I move forward, I'll turn to RJ and Fizz. You said that body's alive.
Yes. Well, I mean, it was fogging up the little glass porthole.
So it's
So,
not. So it's not dead.
yeah. Do we want to deal with that now?
Not deal with
Fizz,
it
as
at
you
all.
walked past this alcove, you saw a similar thing on the glass. The body
I mean,
itself.
it looks like there's more than one. I would have to assume for every alcove there.
What do you think we should do? None of us are in shape to fight.
Let's
I don't know.
let's be sneaky
mean,
this time and
Yeah.
ignore them for now.
Sin, do you know anything about these dudes in the alcoves?
Bowing heel six
Being
figure. As Sin touches you
being
on the shoulder.
being very quiet and
Sorry, I had a phone call. All right, what did I miss? I saw rolls.
Sin did a small vigor heal to Taween a little bit, and Fizz is being sneaky now. Fizz, when you
I'm
ask,
trying to be quiet.
yeah, when you ask Sin that, he walks up and kind of looks into the alcove, puts his hand on the glass, almost longingly, says, I do not think they mean harm. There's no malice here.
Are they alive?
It's hard to remember. I remember this room. It had sort of use. There was a reason. I can't recall. I don't think they are alive, per se, no.
Okay. Okay.
So
Well, I
should
mean,
should
I'm sure
we
the
leave them
crabs
be?
weren't malicious either, so
Well, they're not doing anything. Do we leave
yeah.
them?
Yeah, if they're, as long as they stay in there, we should be fine. And it seems not. Sin doesn't seem to be worried about it too much.
I'm more than fine with that idea.
Okay, I'll look ahead. Not too selfie. Being very cautious though.
Yeah. Go ahead and roll perception as you're moving in through here, since you are actively. Okay. So you see As you step up into the threshold of this room, what looks to be like this slow trickling waterfall or fountain of sorts. It is clear, clean looking water. It is crystal clear. It's flowing down this channel and into this pool down here where it just rests. There are two doorways that you see leaving from this chamber, both of which are slightly ajar already, kind of revealing some space behind either one.
Well, I don't have any really method of checking anything, so I'll just step forward. Anything odd about the water?
It's not salt water. It's fresh, it's clean, it's clear, it's crisp. And if you're in the channel, you see what looks like a glint of something at the bottom of it. And it's
How
maybe
deep is the
only
channel? Yeah,
a foot deep or so.
I will pull out the weapon that will turn into something. Let me see what we'll turn into. To see if I can pull it up. Does it look like it's? What does it look like? Something large or small or what? What's the size of what it is?
Smallish.
Screw it. I reach down and get it.
All right. You reach in and you pull out some sort of orangish gemstone.
Like an astron,
Nope. It's small. It's maybe the size of a quarter.
but it's not like astron money.
No, it doesn't look like Astron.
I'll hand it to RJ.
Yeah, Theron's all about that money.
Nope.
How many level 1 spells do I have left?
0.
0. Right.
You have no spell slots left, in fact, as they were all used in that combat.
Yes, they were.
What's the lighting about in this room? Is it lit up with those crystal things?
The runes along the
Okay.
bases of the walls, they arch up over these doorways and exits and entrances, and these pillars here kind of have more of them glowing up the sides.
I use appraise on it to see what type of gem it is, at least.
Already. It is a carnelian, and it's probably worth around 150 blue.
Okay. I look at it, yeah, sounds like, okay. I put it into my bag.
All right. So both doors look ajar, or just the ones ahead, or the one below us?
Indeed, both doors look like they're slightly ajar and not fully closed.
Turn to Sin. Any idea which way?
He just shakes his head. I haven't been here for nearly 1,000 years. I do not recall much of anything. But as I see things, I'm remembering. Pieces, like a fog.
I say out loud, well, when we're in pass, a compass always shows us our way, and I take out the paragon and spin it.
It spins and spins and spins and spins faster and spins faster, and it seems to not be able to land on one particular point.
Oh. new.
The dome's made of astron, white astron. Everything here is astron.
At least now we know it doesn't choose. It doesn't do the closest astrum. There's enough of it around. I stopped and put it back.
All right. Weapon drawn, defensive action.
Ooh.
Step in.
Yep.
Look around very carefully.
You see a hallway, splits off to the right, and to the left, there's what looks like to be an overgrown hallway with a set of overgrown stairs that lead down into a, again, overgrown chamber of some sort. And down to the south of you, you can see there's another entryway or hallway or split that splits off. There's more stairs down here, and some sort of other alcove thing to the left and right of this cross section.
Look very carefully.
You step down, and in this chamber, it seems entirely overgrown, with hangrock structures obscuring whatever this room's purpose must have once been. There are the remains of what looks like a fire pit that can be found within this room, in the center. In addition, there are skeletal remains huddled around the fire pit, as if they were clinging to its warmth before whatever end they met.
Look back at RJ.
I'll go check. Maybe this place safer. Check the skeletons to see how they died.
Go ahead and roll heal. It's hard to say, actually. They don't have any inherent wounds. The skeletons aren't damaged in any way, other than what time has decayed at their exterior. And they still have their clothes about them. These long, flowing robes of blue and light blue. Although they're somewhat tattered.
Well, it looked like they were killed by something, so this place might be somewhat safe. I start moving the bodies and ask if we want to rest. This might be a good place if we barricade where we came in with some of these hang rocks, so we can take that off.
Does any of the hang rock look like it's something that could be kicked loose to barricade?
Hang rock is kind of like coral in that sense that parts of it that jut out could likely be pried or broken off. And Fizz, seeing that fire pit, it looks like it used to be furniture or something that was broken down and put into a pile. Old clothing, anything that was flammable. You can see even the remains kind of back over here in the corner of what looks like red crab carapaces, broken open and cracked.
Well, the red ones appear to be edible.
They're not fresh by any means. They're just
No, but they
yeah.
clearly were eaten.
This doesn't look like part of the temple for some reason.
Oh, who doesn't? We can either rest here and try to barricade ourselves to get some of our strength back, or we can force our way onwards.
Um, yeah, I mean, there's that tentacle thing outside. If we were to take a rest, my preference would be for us to go back by the rowboats. Because we're pretty far away from the vortex.
Dog aggro, dog aggro.
Nithir and RJ, you can see there's like this 3-foot rise here where the hang rock is very well overgrown much more. And there's some sort of mostly grown in passage back there. In this chamber itself and any of these overgrown looking sections, the more rocky sections, none of the runes are active here for light. And it's whatever you have that brings in light to these chambers.
Oh. Oh, I would have had to cast light on something for me if I was
I figured you would.
on a piece of hang rock. Little chunk of hang rock.
Explore a bit, see what I can see through this whole area.
I'll back him up.
Okay. It looks like a tight fit, but you could probably squeeze through pretty easily with your size, RJ. With Nithir, and it'll require a bit more of squeezing sideways. It's not so much that the height of this space is a problem. And that's a note actually for you, Nithir. Back by those initial doorways and the roof itself, it seems to be built for people that are probably just a bit shorter than you, but taller than Taween, as if you look at the heights of things. The Vith,
Okay.
likely, from what you know of the construction of this place.
Yep. Gathering that.
Might pass me a light.
I'll hand him the piece of hang rock with a light.
And I try to stealthily go through. Stealthily go through.
Yep.
I'm staying here watching him.
So, RJ, you slip through the little opening there, and you see another overgrown chamber that you come across. You can see there's another sort of hallway of sorts back there. But this chamber that you find yourself in, you see what remains of this extravagant looking bed that is partially overgrown with hang rock. What remains of what was likely the furniture that fire was built from that was broken down in here, and all that remains are a couple of chests that kind of lay scattered in the room, which they too are mostly made of some sort of hang rock material as well, and not wood, perhaps why they were left behind. You also find near the foot of the bed, almost as if it was in some sort of knelt down praying position, a corpse, a skeletal form with a shrouded robe over it.
I do a heal check.
Again, you see no sign of injury that caused this corpse to die. You see no nick marks on the bones or scorch marks or anything of that nature. It perhaps could have been natural causes or something that had no sign of damage.
We'll continue exploring stealthily.
right. Taking your glance of that room, you move on and squeeze through this next little chamber where you come to another chamber. This one not overtaken by the growth of the hang rock itself. You see these two statues in the room.
I see nothing.
Huh?
I see black.
Why do you see black? One second. Global. There. Does that work?
Yes.
Okay. It was maybe just the way the wall clipped you. Oh, I see. No. No. Incorrect.
Correct. Okay.
Incorrect. I see why you couldn't see. Yes. So you come to one of these window-like coverings over this opening where you can slightly see into this room from this angle, where you see a couple of statue-like figures, some sort of staircase that descends down, some sort of altar or sorry, upwards is the staircase, some sort of altar or something. It's hard to see. The clearness of the glass is a bit fogged and caked with dust and partially overgrown by hang rock.
All right. And going through here, I use my perception to see if there's any crevices or anything that anything could get through to us if we stayed here.
Okay. Nothing of that nature, it seems. Are you just searching for crevices? Are you searching the bed, these chests, anything else in the room?
Everything. See if there's anything that we could get in or is here already with us. With me, I guess.
So you are kind of
Check.
doing a thorough check. Okay. Um, in each of these chests, one of which is ajar as you walk past it, the lid hung back, and you move this one around to make sure there's no crevice behind it and kind of pick it up and make sure there's nothing in it that's of danger. You find two more gemstones, one of a bluish color and another of a um, indigo color.
Okay, I'm back.
Gem and indigo gem, right?
Blue gem, indigo gem. Roughly the same size as the one you already have. Likely worth similarly in terms of amounts. And these are a sapphire and a tanzanite.
Okay. And anything the bed around the bed or underneath the bed?
Nope, nothing that from what you were searching for, nothing else that makes note of you. It seemed to be some sort of more extravagant like bed, but it is mostly overgrown and part of it was taken for that fireplace likely, or that fire pit in the other room.
I head back out and say, I think I found an area that might be a lot safer. We can at least catch our breath.
Alright.
Through that little squeeze? Through that
Yeah.
little squeeze?
Yep.
Okay.
Looks like it's a one-way into it, so we can barricade it and make sure we can rest up. There's no other entryways I could see.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know that resting's a good idea, but if everybody else wants to, sure, we could stop for a bit.
Oh, we either die in here or we die out there. We don't rest.
All right, lead on. I'll have to figure out how to squeeze through there.
It's not impossible or anything. Perhaps if you were under duress, it might be a little bit more difficult, but
Well, did anybody check? Oops, sorry, I'm off the map somehow. Did anybody check the other room while search through all those things while we were in the other room?
Other room.
So where we just left. I didn't. I'm just asking if anybody else did.
I was looking out the hallway to make sure nothing was coming.
Okay.
I thought you guys had already taken a look.
We found a little entrance and I went through.
All right.
Guess we rest.
Wizards was gonna be a tight squeeze.
Where does this go? Do you know, Roger?
Goes to a window or two statues out there. Guess you can check it out if you want.
Move you
Is
on
it
the
like a different room or?
Yeah, I'll move you on the other side as if you could see through the window.
Oh, okay.
A couple statues, staircase, some sort of
I'll
called.
I'll cast detect magic and stare at the statues.
The window pane in front of you is magical.
Well then,
What do you see?
well this window is magical.
This the clear substance, whatever it is, that's covering this entryway.
Good.
Do you know what
Bad?
type of magic?
I don't know. Let me stare at it for a while.
Knowledge,
I'll stare at it for a while.
Arcana, and spellcraft. It's universal magic, and it is some sort of barrier to keep things physically out.
It's some sort of barrier spell.
So you're probably shouting. I'm going to be playing that I don't hear anything you're saying because I can't see your lips.
Yeah.
Um, Extra protection, I guess.
What's protection?
Uh, it says the window to be a barrier spell.
Does it look like this window has any sort of hinges on it, or does it like it just looks like a porthole?
It looks like it's
Yeah.
grown into the side of the hang rock itself, or that the hang rock has grown over it, whichever be the case.
Well, who knows? Maybe we can use this as a shortcut.
Shortcut to what?
I don't know. Those statues looked pretty important.
Well, if we're resting, let's rest.
Right.
Get your
No,
8
I-
hours.
I don't know that we should, like,
Give me a sec.
out of character. Is there a such thing as a short rest in Pathfinder?
Nope.
No. So it's 8 hours or nothing.
Yep.
Oh, hey!
Give me a sec. I'm gonna try to make something to keep. Give us an alarm if somebody comes from the other side. What can I make with alchemicals? Need for some special weapons.
As RJ begins to dig around in his pack for alchemical things, Wizrun kind of shifts over to you, Taween. I see you've gotten the hang of things a little bit. Well done back there.
Yeah, I kind of thought maybe now that I do the blood raging's different for me right now. I thought maybe that was like a sign that I could finally cast magic.
Did the words just come to you?
Yeah.
Interesting.
We looked at the book. I found these spells in that book.
Yes.
We found out my blood is dangerous.
Indeed.
Others.
Well done. You've been learning.
Yeah. Told you cutting myself would do something eventually.
I don't think that's what helped.
Did not help.
I suppose. You'll just have some scars there now, but that's fine, I guess.
As he says this, you could just look at my body and just see scars all over. He already doesn't care.
One of those people that cut themselves all the time.
Oh, he has scars and tattoos all over his body. A lot of the tattoos being like less tattoo-ish and more burn marks and carvings.
Theron's going to start her trance.
Okay.
Right.
Did you find what you're looking for, RJ?
Yes and no. I make thunderstones.
Yeah, those are alchemical, I think.
Yeah, but they don't have a DC craft.
Alchemy. I have yet to do alchemy.
What's something similar that's kind of close to it with a craft? What's like an alchemist fire? I'm sure it's not much more complicated than that.
Alchemist fire? Alchemist fire is a craft DC of 20.
Yeah, let's just go with that for now.
Alright.
And as far as like you have the alchemical pieces, obviously you have the gold stuff that you would need to expend that you know how all that ratios out. But you can actually use some of the hang rock as like the base of it, so it's like hang rock infused with the alchemical components so that you can throw it and it'll like explode and do its thunderstone effect.
Alright. Craft. Thunderstone. Come on. Ha!
Hey, you get one.
We got one. And I look at Taween. Taween, can you help me craft a little rudimentary trap. Swing this stone to whatever might come out of that hole.
Yeah, I can do that. I see what I can
Are,
do.
are you looking for a little bit of inspiration?
Sure. It won't hurt.
True.
That's really bad.
Who's crafting?
I trust Halloween. Oh, I'm helping.
Taween. You're gonna do great. You're gonna do awesome, and I'll even try to help you out a little bit. I'll inspire confidence in you, so you get a +2 from me.
I tried to help.
Sweet.
Right. And I start looking around, looking at some of the things in the room.
Okay.
I'm guessing is that bed actually here or in the chests?
Yes, the chests they're made of the hang rock, and the bed. Excuse me. The bed is partially like grown into the wall, partially broken down. You can tell some of its wood was broken and taken, and its sheeting was taken for that fire pit in the other room.
How how does this stone thing work?
Uh, when it strikes something, it'll produce a loud sound, a deafening sound.
So
Should wake us up.
so it has to be crushed or something.
Or use
Alright.
it to hit somebody.
Alright, I got an idea. I'm gonna take one of the bigger pieces of wood
Mm-hmm.
and walk back down here. And like halfway towards the entrance of this little thing that we got.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to and you can make me do like some type of roll to see how good of a trap it is. But my idea is to put the stone under the piece of wood, so if anything steps on the wood, it would crush the rock and make it the sound.
Ah, okay.
But but do in a way where it seems like that piece of wood is just there, like no one, like it's not a trap.
Right. So
Kind of my idea.
do a craft traps check. If you don't have craft traps, it's just a craft check with your +2
Yeah.
bonus. This will set the DC of the perception check to notice it.
Where's my characters? I don't have that, so I'm just gonna roll.
Then you have a +2 from Fizz. Okay. DC
Nice.
21 to notice it. As you very inconspicuously lay
Nice.
it, you grab a few other hang rocks and kind of pile it in the area around the rock, make it look like it's just some rubble and part of the hallway.
Like I want to do is like have like the board extend the whole opening, so
Right.
like you can't like walk around it or something. I don't
Yep.
know.
Yep.
Like
You put it in such a way where, like, if you were gonna shimmy through here, you almost certainly have to step on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then
Good roll.
I just go, yeah. And then I go back to the entrance over here, and then I take off my armor, and this is where I plan on laying, is right by the entrance.
All right. So you all begin to bed down and find your way to rest, curled up in the various corners of this room. It's not as comfortable as you're used to. As everyone's getting settled, though, what are you guys eating tonight?
I have 8 rations, so I'm going to eat a ration.
Okay.
Have 7 rations or something.
And then Ethereum's fine as well. Fizz, are you good?
I am not good. I have no rations on me. I do have the crabs, though.
I would think that like as we travel, I like go through and like replace my rations with whatever we currently have, and like I'll have like some dried fish or something on me. Just eating in front of Fizz.
Have some of the shark meat.
Oh yeah, right there. They're perfect. I have some of the shark meat. Just look at Fizz.
I will offer you a couple of nuts and berries for you, but they're not magical or anything. Nothing. I can't do anything to them, but I'll still offer you a little bit.
Thank you, Nithirn. This is not enough food.
I will say this much: Tywin's not going to offer you food, but
Yeah,
if you
no.
ask, he might.
I'm not gonna ask Tywin for food. Are you kidding me? That bed. Are there sheets still on that bed, or?
No, the bedding has been taken off, and you saw it in that other room, partially
Yeah.
burned.
Yeah. But there's a robe around the dead person, isn't there?
There is.
Well, gotta do what you gotta do. I will disrobe the robed person and use that to try and cook my crab meat.
Tywin will look at Willie, Wizrun, and sit him like, "Want some?"
Willie's like, yes, please, yes.
All right, here you go.
Wizard says, I as well could use some.
All right,
Thank you, Daween.
not a problem.
And you don't see Sin. He's kind of, well, some of you might be able to partially see him. He's over there by that window, just kind of standing there. Yeah, so Fizz, in this tight little cornered, cramped quarter, takes this skeleton and starts shaking the robes off of it.
Yep.
RJ, a bone like clatters at your feet. It's a foot.
Tywin's still just eating his shark meat. Delicious.
The bed. Is there any wood left on that bed?
There's a small amount, yeah. But it's a lot, mostly overgrown. It would be like little handfuls you might be able to break off.
Okay. You have torches.
I also have torches.
Well,
Didn't ask.
Fizz, as they say that, and you are finishing shaking the skeleton out of the robe. Not only does the skeleton clatter down to the ground, but you see around its neck that was underneath the robe some sort of amulet is attached.
Amulet. I will inspect said amulet first. Before I pick it up, though, I'm gonna do detect magic just to see if it's magical or not.
It is not inherently magical, no.
Okay. Cool. I will then pick it up and examine it.
So it looks similar to the symbol you saw above the doorway of this temple. It is a U-shaped symbol with wave-like symbols across the top. And within the U shape, it fades from a lighter blue into a deep, dark blue. And in the centerpiece, I guess there's a little piece of magic. As in the center, there is a small, little, white chunk of crystal, likely white astron, that softly glows in its center.
What were the colors again?
On the outside and near the top of the U shape, it's a light blue, and then it fades to a deeper dark blue the lower it gets into the U. And then there's the white astron little circular piece in the center of the U shape.
Okay. Just making. I haven't seen it. Busy.
Hey, yeah, if your eyes are closed, then you don't see it. But...
Yeah, I mean,
And there's a soft glow.
I'll throw it in my bag.
Okay.
And Maybe check the pockets of the robe to see if.
In the pockets, you find a couple of sticks of incense and 4 gold pieces.
Huzzah!
Not blue Astron chips, but gold pieces.
Huzzah.
Hey, I'll kind of like bundle up the robe, put it on the ground. Let's see here, move myself there. And I'll start like breaking off whatever wood I can that's left off of that bed and chucking it on top of the robe. And RJ, did you check inside these chest looking things?
Yeah.
Is there anything useful inside them?
You would actually see like one of the chests is actually missing one of the planks. As Tywin used it as his trap.
That would have been something you grabbed from the bed. The chests are made of hang rock.
Oh,
Yeah.
Then that's not what you saw.
Gems.
Sorry, what was that, RJ?
Gems.
Oh, just gems?
Um,
Okay. Yeah, that's not really helping me out with this fire situation.
You can use one of my torches.
Excellent. That would be great. Throw it on top of the pile.
I throw one of my torches on top of the pile.
Where's the smoke gonna go?
There's a question.
Like, I don't know. Out the open entryway that we came in?
Alerting anything that could be in here where we're at.
Well, then, do you guys just have some food I can have? Because I don't have any food.
You never asked.
Well, I try to be a little self-sufficient, okay? I didn't think we would be gone this long from the boat, though.
Good job at being self-sufficient.
I always expect to be gone from a place of food for at least a couple of days with with the people we have. I toss you a ration. It's my last ration, actually.
Wait, I thought you said you had 6.
Thought I did. I think I fed it to the dogs. Yeah, I think I fed it to the dogs. Oh, this was before I first met the dogs.
Oh, yeah. I remember that now.
Have you had something to eat, RJ?
Yeah, just finished my ration. This is my last one for the day. You saw some of that shark meat, right?
Yeah. I still got... I could feed most of us another day if we had to.
There we go.
Actually, I could feed all of us since that one doesn't eat. He points at it.
I am not paying attention to any of you.
That's fantastic. Okay.
I'm in a full trance.
Thank you for the ration. It is much appreciated.
I was just waiting for you to ask, Fizz.
I'm gonna take my torch back.
Sure. Would you like the robe too? It's a pretty nice looking robe.
The robes are of similar design to that amulet you found. They start with a light blue up near the shoulders and get deeper and darker blue as they go further and further down. although they are fifth-sized.
Perfect size for you, RJ. Perfect size.
Look at you.
They just need a little hemming.
Right. Going to bed.
All right. So after the decision of no fire and all the food, you all try and get a little bit of rest and lay down and sleep on this uncomfortable stone floor.
It's perfectly fine for me. It's what I'm used to.
Nithirn, you focus your mind in your trance and you begin to reach out to the minds around you. You feel Reginald, you feel Taween, you reach out, you feel Sin, or Wizrun. You also sense others nearby. Many minds, many connections you could make.
That's interesting. So, among the party, who did I sense?
Taween, Reginald, Fizz, Wizrun.
So, not Sin and not the kid,
That would seem to be the case.
not Willie. And then bunch of something else.
Yes.
Anything feel familiar about these other minds?
Mm, you'd really have to actually try and enter one to really get a sense of who they were and enter into their scape, but they're just other minds. They're kind of, you kind of just detect, you scan out around you first, and it's not until you focus down do you really start getting any specifics, other than the fact that you kind of are aware of where your others are, and there's a vague sense of direction around you, and you're familiar with some of. Think of each mind as having kind of its own like signature or color, for
Right.
example. You're
The ones I've touched
familiar,
before.
right? You're
Right.
familiar with your party, but there's a bunch of others that you're unfamiliar with.
So, I'm not going to risk it tonight, although that's very, very intriguing. Let me think about this for a second.
Yep.
Yeah, I think I am going to. I'm going to look for a relatively bright one
Okay.
and go ahead and reach in.
All right. And as you reach in, let's go ahead and take a quick little 5-minute break or so before we come back. About halfway through, I saw that there's food on your end, so let me go grab some of that.
Yep.
And we shall be right back, stream. All right, and we are back. So, Nithyan, you reach out to this entity that you sensed in the dreamscape. And it is unlike other times you've used your ability here, or anywhere, for that matter. You feel that you're connected, but you can't quite sense what's around you. You feel yourself in this void, this white space around you, almost like it's cloudy all around. You can see motes of light in the distance, multiple of them all around you, like little stars in this otherwise expanse of nothing. This somewhat humanoid, see-through figure coalesces in your vision, and with a raspy voice and an outstretched hand, "You walk with the betrayer." The betrayer, the betrayer, the betrayer. As you hear the voice echo around you, and you see other of these figures and forms kind of coalescing into the space around you.
He's here to pay for his sins.
He abandoned. He left, forgotten, betrayed. From the various voices around you. You can see that these figures, while somewhat wispy and hard to see entirely, you catch the pointed ears, the Vith aspect of them. You look down at yourself, and you yourself are not corporeal. You are this sort of see-through mist as well.
How can he correct this betrayal?
Prove himself. Prove his faith. He has not forgotten the ways. He has abandoned us, forgotten us, forsaken.
He is here now. He is not forgotten. He regrets leaving and is here to prove himself. We will help him prove himself. What was once betrayed can be... Go ahead.
Diplomacy.
Correct. So normally with Boreal I have a -5. Do I still have a -5 on this?
With what?
Normally my diplomacy with other living creatures, I don't know, or whatever, it's -5. Do I need to leave it in there?
Yeah, whatever you normally roll.
Okay. Not gonna roll good, is what it is. That's good for me.
Everybody else can make perception checks as well. But Nithyan,
Thought this was happening in a dream.
indeed, although you were making a perception check nonetheless. Nithyan, they respond, "Proof of his power. Proof of his power. must be had.
Proof of his power must be had.
Relight the holy waters. Bring back the faith. Prove yourselves. For otherwise, you are imposters, imposters, imposters. Other false charlatans have come and have died. They have brought evil upon us. Destruction, death. RJ and Taween, you guys are kind of still rustling in your sleep, finding it hard to sleep. It's chilly in here. It's hard to rest. You kind of hear some shuffling from Nithyan, and the two of you kind of around the same time look over, and even in this almost no light in here, you can see that there's these soft ephemeral forms, almost like mist and cloud, that are kind of all gathered around Nithyan and swirling around here. Or you can see she's somewhat shaking. And before you guys have any response, Nithyan, any response on your end?
Balance shall be brought back to that which is out of balance. Brothers and sisters.
RJ, Taween, anything you guys do as you see this?
He would look at Reginald like point at Myth like
I don't know.
You catch
I'm not
the
used to this.
ephemeral form
Wake
of
her
a
up.
face.
wake her up.
Maybe?
You're closer.
Sure. I try to reach up my hand out to her.
You reach out to Nithyan, and it's like reaching through ice cold water. You can feel kind of a wind and the chill creep over your face, goosebumps cross across you. You almost have to close your eyes a bit because of this thing. You can see these forms all kind of turn and shift and fly at you. And you shake Nithyan, and all of it kind of dissipates and disappears. And Nithyan, you're shaken out of your trance.
Okay.
Are you okay? Not hurt, are you?
I check myself. Do I seem hurt?
You're cold, but no, not hurt.
I have endure elements. Am I cold, unnaturally cold then, right?
Yes, you unnaturally are cold.
Okay, that's what I want to clarify. There are others here.
Dead bodies.
That which once inhabited.
Spirits?
Not quite. They live in some sort of dreamlike state. Those who were left behind. Call Sin here.
Understood.
You see him just kind of one hand against this clear window, kind of just staring longingly out towards the room. He doesn't seem to notice you when you approach.
Tap him on the shoulder.
Oh,
Leg, I guess.
yeah. Oh, hello, Ajay. Are you resting well?
Oh, and I think it's to talk to you.
All right. I'll come back. What's wrong, Nithyan?
named yourself Sin. Those who you left behind look at you as a traitor, a betrayer, that you left them. They exist in a dreamlike environment. White space, seemingly trapped. Do you know what I speak of?
Vaguely, yes.
They require proof of your power. You must relight the holy waters. Bring the faith back. Prove yourself, lest you be an imposter. Others have tried. They've brought evil here, destruction, death. It seems only you can undo what has been done.
I can try. But I don't know. It's been so long. How could they forgive? How could anyone forgive?
The scales of justice are demanding. But I believe this act will pay the price.
I will think on this. I will search deep within. But your faiths in me will be invaluable, should they be there. Rest for now. We'll speak more in the morning.
I nod and I go back into my trance. Finished my time.
Tywin would already be like pretty much asleep.
He just goes back to sleep.
Always have your back. I head back to sleep.
As you're laying down, RJ, he just says, "But why?"
Because you're a friend. No other reason why. Doesn't need to be another reason why.
Which is blind faith. For not up until recently did you know I even had any sort of power.
You didn't need to have that power. You helped keep us together while we traveled. Listened to our worries. Journeyed with us. Ate with us. Is there any other reason to make friends besides that?
Friends is one thing, but why believe in all of this? Why believe what you're hearing? Why do anything about it?
because a friend asked me to.
Even though you didn't know the whole picture.
Even though I didn't know the whole picture. Look at Wizroom. Still don't know his whole picture. He's protected us. We've protected him.
Rest then, friend. Speak more soon. And so, you all eventually find your ways back to sleep. And awaken some amount of time later. Hard to tell, there's no sun, there's no anything, but you awaken, presumably long enough later.
What's the natural vigor gain again?
So you gain vigor equal to your level, and you gain 1 wound. And all of your daily stuff refreshes.
I'll get up and do my normal routine. Do my reset my endure. Do my abstinemios, however the hell you say that word.
Your food.
Yep, my food. And then do close quarters maneuvers
Okay.
until everybody else gets up. Remember, I went to bed a little bit earlier than they did.
Yep. Make sure if any of your thresholds change that you have the current threshold that you're in selected in that one drop down, so it applies anything relevant until that changes. And
We
eventually,
must do.
oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. I was going to say whoever wakes up first. We have to do this. I don't know who wakes up first.
I probably wake up pretty early too and start making bombs.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I was watching something. All right. Yes, Tywin would slowly also start to wake up. Oh, we're not dead.
Not yet.
Doesn't look like the trap was set off too.
Nope.
And getting that stone before we deafen ourselves.
Yeah, I'll go get it. I would make my way back to where I put my trap.
Okay.
Is it still intact?
Yes, and since you're the one recovering it, you know where it's at. If anybody else was gonna go for it, I was gonna have them roll because they didn't know where you put it.
No. I would take the Thunderstone out, and then I'd just leave the piece of wood there. I wouldn't really care about that.
Yeah, you recover the stone just
Okay.
fine.
And then walk back and be like, here.
You
know,
can use this later again.
So is the way forward back the way we came?
Yes, it looks like.
Unless we can figure out how to get through that window.
When you wake up, Sin's not around.
Like, not even
Nope.
here by the window? No? Well, shit, people. Sin seems to have wandered off.
It's not good. have enough time to make bombs for myself.
If you wish.
Wizard's going to be doing his spells, no doubt, too. So
Yeah, he's already huddled in the corner with his book open with the small little light that he's created.
Gotta hurry up with our preparations and head out. Don't
Don't
feel.
need to prep. I'm good. I don't need to prep.
Can you scout ahead for us while prep then?
Or
I'll come.
Oh.
I'll go with.
Yeah. I'll tag along as well. Onithian, you, please.
Yeah,
Ladies first.
I'm right behind Tawi.
Coward!
Yeah, if you stepped in front, I just kind of look at you, kind of.
give me a second. I'm putting my armor on.
And I'm gonna assign to you, Fizz. I was gonna visit you last night, but I want to thank you now for the inspiration you gave via sign. First time I experienced that, and it was very helpful. Thank you.
You're welcome.
It's the first time you did it. The first time I've ever had anybody do that. So
Do what? Like,
inspire me. I was very proud of your sign
oh,
yesterday.
yes. I'm sorry. Much of that day has been a blur in my memory. I was nearly unconscious.
I had your back.
Yes, thank you.
All right.
Okay. So, moving back into this room, you don't see anything that's changed in this overgrown chamber.
Signing to Fizz. Did you search this room to make sure?
No, I did not. I will search the room. There's a couple bodies in here too, isn't there?
There are, yes.
With robes.
Yes.
Well, I'm checking their pockets first.
One has 7 silver pieces.
Ooh.
The other has 1 platinum piece.
Ooh.
And each of them also have a handful of incense sticks.
Yeah, I'm just gonna leave those.
And they each have another amulet as well. However, these two don't have the little white gem in the center of it.
I will pick up the incense sticks. Those seem important.
Okay.
I mean, I'll take the necklaces, even though they don't have a white gem. Still must be worth something. Yeah, I mean, there's not really much else to go through, right? Like,
Not that you've
I'll
seen,
look around.
there's rubble
I'll
and
look.
stuff, but
Yeah, I'll look around while he's doing that.
nothing else of note that you guys find. Just more overgrown hang rock and the rubble that it causes.
Okay. Catch up with Tawi.
Everything looks
Good.
good so far.
yeah. Do we go any farther, or do I think maybe we should wait?
Sure. I'm going to throw a perception check to see if I notice anything weird. Anything out of place from what we saw yesterday. Down these 2 hallways.
Nope, nothing that's different. The runes still softly glow in this room, in these hallways, in this section.
Everything looks good. You guys want to look at the tentacle monster thing?
Shaking my head no.
I'd rather not know at this point, Tyween.
All right. Sounds good. Let's start heading back. Looks good.
If we're under 1 billion feet of water at this point,
It hasn't gone in here yet.
no, but
Is the floors clean, or are they dusty, or what?
They're not particularly dusty. I mean, they're not overgrown from the hang rock either. They're kind of in just a neutral state. They're not. There's
Okay.
a little bit of rubble
So it doesn't,
here and there, but
not where you would see tracks left.
no.
there's a
Okay.
fire pit here, right?
Yep. Well, it's not
Does
so
it
much
look
a
like-
fire pit, but it's more the room and some teeth, and it's partially charred and burned, and there's all those crab carapaces that are broken out around it.
Does it look like I could still set fire to it to cook the crab meat that I have on me, or
Perhaps, yeah.
might as well try and do that while we're waiting for everybody to.
Alrighty. So you go over and you spark up the cloth, and it starts to catch flame and burn, and grow and burn. And you find a nice little fire there where you're able to start cooking crab meat. Are you cooking the blue crab meat?
Yeah, that's the only crab meat that I have.
Yep.
I mean, there's those red crabs over there, but they look like they've already been eaten. / I'm not gonna try and eat stuff that's been sitting there for potentially a really long time. How many cycles has it been since Sin has been here?
He said nearly 1,000 cycles.
Yeah, those crabs probably ain't good anymore. I mean, if you really want me to, I could roll intelligence to see.
No, you're good. They're not edible. There's no meat on them. Howie, Nith, anything the two of you are doing other than just kind of waiting in the hallway for the others?
I would tell Tyween. I would tell Nith, let's go back into the cave area at least.
Okay.
All right.
I go back.
I just kind of just watch these stairways a little bit.
Reginald, Wizrin, and Willie all get done doing their individual studies and stuff of that nature over the course of the next hour. Fizz, there's an interesting series of events that happens here for you. For a while, you're cooking the meat and everything, and you begin to notice that, like, the chamber is beginning to fill a little heavily with smoke. Not to the point where it can't quite... Not to the point where it prevents you from breathing or anything, but it's getting a little smoky in here. And then after a bit of more time, it seems to dissipate and fade.
Okay. It's weird.
You can roll knowledge nature.
I mean, I guess. Knowledge nature.
Hangrock is a coral and is porous. It likely filtered out through it.
Fantastic.
And you have some blue cooked crab meat.
Well, we'll have to just wait and see back at the ship if this is edible. Unless I can get Willie on his own for a little bit.
But you're not eating it.
No, I'm not eating it. I don't know. When I stick it with my finger, does it still feel cold?
It feels a little chilly.
Yeah.
But it looks cooked.
I mean, it looks cooked. That's great. It at least won't rot in my pack as quickly.
Excellent. So now you have cooked blue crabs.
Yep.
Well, did the shell go from blue to red?
The shell
Shell.
melted away. I assume. Yeah.
Because when you cook blue crab turns red by the time you eat it.
The shell partially melts away in certain ways, but it's still
Okay.
the bluish hue.
I'm sure you know that, Miguel. You've had blue crab for sure.
Crab's delicious.
Yeah.
Mm.
These ain't natural blue crabs.
No. No.
I ate
Maybe.
some of that shark last. I don't know why you're so afraid of that crab.
I did not eat some of that shark.
No, he ate my ration.
I ate shark. I'm fine.
Are you though, RJ?
I have some of that crab or some of that pork, actually.
No,
You
you had
haven't,
your
no.
own ration. I did. Willie did. Wizroom did.
I don't know. This crab meat is weird though, RJ. It's still like you poke it and it's cold in the center too. Though it looks cooked. Maybe you could take one and study it and see if you can make something alchemical out of it or something. I don't know.
Sure.
Or you could just eat it. You're not going to eat it. I'll eat it.
Okay. So I hand you one of the crabs then, one of the cooked
I eat
crab
it.
meat.
Tywin just bites right into it.
Tywin hasn't had crab before, so I can't really say that you've recognized the taste, but it is the taste of crab. Um, but it's also at the same time kind of like you were eating ice cream, like with your teeth just biting down on it, in terms of like feeling because of the chill.
Oh,
So cold.
Do you not cook it properly, Fizz?
Tastes good.
no, I cooked it. Best as I know how, I cooked it.
Good breakfast.
Mm. Okay. Well, let me know how you feel in a couple hours, and
All right.
Anyways,
You do know my body's filled with black blood. Last thing I'm worried about is some fucking magical crab meat. Oh, maybe it'll cure me.
As you eat it and swallow it, you
maybe.
can feel the like cold run down your stomach.
I would like to think I always feel cold.
Yeah, you probably always feel a little chilly.
Not bad.
sounds good.
Okay, well,
All right.
at the very least, we have food for Tywin. So
I sign.
You go find Sin.
Are we ready?
yeah.
Yes. I nudge Taween.
Yeah. All right. Let's go. Saw a door down here that we never went through. Go. Should we go south or should we go back? Did you say something about holy water? There's water that way.
Yeah, there's that fountain.
Is that the holy water that we're looking for, Nith?
I shrug my shoulders.
Then? That's
As
the holy
well,
water.
might as well look, see if he's there. Then we can go south and walk in.
Reginald, you walk in and you see Sin is sitting in the water with his back up to the fountain. The water's just pouring down over him. He's just
there's
sitting
Sin.
in it.
Are you okay, Sin?
Yes, I am.
I
I
was kind of
believe.
worried we see you this morning.
Yes, I decided to take a walk. Seems safe enough. Believe this might be what they meant by holy waters. This pool here. You see the other end of it. It's big enough for one to enter.
Okay.
But being in the water now, feel holds no divine energy. It's just water. While it is pure, it's no longer holy.
Maybe there's something in the source that was that changed it.
Well, I believe my absence was the issue with the source for so long. As you guys are standing here talking to him, the air kind of takes on a chill around you all. And you can feel this like sensation. Like there's somebody there with you or behind you, but you see no one. A slight fog drifts in from the west tunnel still. From all of the corpses of the crabs. And you swear you see a figure move in and down and through the hallway for a moment, but it's lost in the mist almost as immediately as a couple of you see it. Sin just says, I believe they are waiting. Leave.
What?
Let's balance the scale. We should go.
Do that.
I think they look for proof. Proof that I am who I was. That the values that I once instilled in them have gone on in others. I do not believe this is something I can do on my own.
Then we do it together.
I am with you.
They are watching, and they are waiting. We must appeal to them. We must convince them. Somehow. Yeah.
Your faith wasn't sacrificial based, was it?
No, not particularly.
Okay.
There were no sacrifices of life, per se.
Thought I'd ask.
Good.
There were the Guardians.
Guardians?
Those who either came of their time or decided to use what remained of their essence to protect this place.
Oh,
In concert with the fuel of their beliefs and the powers that this realm provides, we kept this place flourishing. But I was the bridge between all of that connection. I am weak now. I can feel it as if I can reach out to it, but it is too heavy. There's no one left that believes. There's no one left that cares. Only the echoes of the past. The guardians, who, even if they did still have power, do not believe in it anymore. I don't know.
Then you must show them the way.
I believe I do, yes. But I do not think that is a physical path. It is one of spirit, one of belief. Ajay, I spoke with you last night, a little bit.
Yes?
Why you are here, why you help, why you care, why you believe in anything. Perhaps your opinions and the opinions of all of you here, maybe some experience or the moment anything mattered and why, or I don't know, but perhaps telling them, and he kind of just gestures around the room, might help convince them. I don't believe they'll believe anything I say, but they might believe the words of those that follow with me.
How should we contact these spirits then?
They are here, they are listening. They are trapped within this place. By nature of being the guardians, they cannot leave, nor, when they asked for that, did they wish to leave.
Sounds like they had faith to stay.
Even if their faith waned, the structure of this place would keep them retained. They cannot pass on.
That's the white field that I saw.
Yes. I don't know what you saw, but that sounds correct. The white Astron is unlike any other Astron. Were the forms we used to take, the Titanic forms, we built them to not repel all of the energies, but to absorb, in a sense. It was needed to retain us, my form now, within them, prevent the power from being stripped from us, so that we could influence this realm and bring life to it. And so
See,
the white Astron is something of our creation, not natural like the rest. It is more powerful in a sense that it shields all else from entry or exit, unless we deemed it possible. And only us emissaries have that control. But we taught the Vith with the dwarves how to move it, how to shape it with our help. So we constructed this place, once our titanic forms were no longer needed and could not continue as they once did. since this place is made of such the life essence of those within cannot leave this place either, unless through the pool, and it be returned to the cycle of things. This place is removed from the cycle, and they knew that when they took up that position of guardian. But
Hmm.
my history, my knowledge, none of that matters. None of that will convince them. That is what was.
What does that sound?
Someone has a cow going.
Oh, you're back. Phone call. Hello.
Phone call.
What's up? Alright, shop lady. Okay.
You gotta mute him.
There's only two things you can get there.
You have questions, Biz? I guess I'll wait since they started his gone.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know that I really have any life stories to share. Convince these ghosts.
Back.
Okay. And I assume, Tim, you can still hear wherever you've gone. Perhaps not. Oh, there he is. Yep, he has his headset on. He can hear. He's just muted.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, just want to make sure. Yeah, Justin says that. Then he just kind of water pouring down around him, just waits and watches out at you all.
We're just supposed to discuss our faith.
Whatever may convince them, I think. Why do you care? Biz, you say you don't know that you have stories. Then why are you here? What led you to this? Why did you decide to do it? Why do you believe it matters? Why help me? Or them? And he motions to the others in the room. Would it not be easier to tend fields and live a safe life?
I don't know that a safe life is necessarily worth living right now, given that everything I learned about the dangers in the world. You know, I first joined your group because I thought you seemed like pretty interesting people, but some of the stuff that we've done and learned is pretty heavy. There's a lot at stake.
And yet you stay when others would run. Forget it.
Well, won't lie, I'm having serious doubts after those crabs throw me around like a rag doll. But I do. Like. It seems like tale worth telling if we get through it all. And I don't know if everything I've learned is true about these crystals somehow being tied to life itself. Well, the Astron crystals are kept safe and the anchors restored or repaired or whatever. I don't think that there's much point in doing anything else.
Yes.
What type of stores are we looking for?
What drives you?
Drives me. Drives me is trying to find a way to reverse what's been done to me. Both blood and dishonor. I don't know. I did some stuff. I would like to try to make some type of way to fix it. I just I know I don't always act like I care for you guys, but I'd rather deal with you guys than be alone.
Oh, that's a strange thing you said to us.
Couple months I spent by myself were, I guess that drives me.
Taween, that is the art of living. There's neither careless drifting on the one hand, nor the fearful clinging to the paths of life on the other. It consists in being sensitive to each moment, and regarding it as utterly new and unique, and having the mind open and wholly receptive to what you find. With
Okay.
this, you will find your answers.
Thanks. I don't know how to really reply to that. One else? Drives you, Willie?
Getting out alive at the moment. I don't know why I've come. I don't know what I'm supposed to be learning here.
You're fine.
This is all just a big dream. It's just a big dream. I'll wake up soon. I'll come
Maybe.
back to my house. I'll live in my dirt. I don't want to do this anymore.
Be fine, Willie. Look at me. I actually took a couple hits from those crabs. I'm still standing.
You're nearly dead. You're covered in wounds and cuts and scars and burns.
Nothing new.
That's my point.
These will heal.
Hey, you're doing a lot better than the last person that tagged along, Willie.
Hey, let's not scare Willie anymore.
What do you mean?
I was just commending you on such the great job that you've been doing.
Don't listen to him. Someone totally didn't die with us last time.
Well, the reason I came here was because you asked us. A friend asked me to and help him. I came.
Nitya. Yeah, go ahead.
Yes. Yeah, go ahead. You go.
Oh, shoot, he was just going to say, what have you?
Can they read my words?
You might need a translator.
Fizz, will you translate?
Sure, I'll translate for you.
And now this all be science. I don't have to float rag my hand the whole time.
Yeah.
I am here because I don't know who I am. I don't know why I was where I was. I don't know why I was taught what I was taught, or told what I was told. But I feel the minds of others, and it's different than what I know. And there's more to know than I could have ever even thought about if I would have stayed where I was at. I was in a box. Free, but in a box. My master was kind. There was a connection there I can't explain. He taught me things I never knew. He showed me ways that were strange but came natural. So I chose to go into the unknown with no other hope than to look for what I don't know. And as I met this group of people with all their very different ways about, with the sins that they're paying for, the uncertainty of their path, the largeness of a heart in the smallest of packages, and then meeting even others, an orc, and then a magic user, and then you, Sin, seemingly without a mind, but obviously more. Dwarves seem so familiar for some reason, but as if I've never seen them. But I've never seen them before. all of this has shown me so much more than I thought. And I start to see things about me. Not me, what you see here, but me, who I am. And what that tells me is that we all have a past. Things have happened. Some we know for good reason, some we don't. But with all these differences, we're the same. We are here together for our various reasons. For no other reason than to make something right. I am here to help make that right. And I'm privileged to learn about myself as I do.
It was very inspiring and eloquent, so much so that although I translate in, pretty much convey the same message, but through song.
Such a Fizz thing to do.
Yeah. You tell me something inspiring, I'm gonna regurgitate it
Well, that's
lyrically.
good. Good. And the speech was dramatic, with a flair of my emotions, which are very pure and artistic. The way that I sign.
And I try to capture that with my 8.
Nithyan, you mentioned our fallen comrade, North. Taween, you spent a lot of time getting to know North.
Yeah.
Were he to have a voice here, what do you believe it would be?
Alice was here and talked about why he was here. He'd probably say something that the reason he's here is because we gave him a tribe like family to be with. When we met him, he was sad that he also got kicked out of his tribe, kind of like me. So I would say he was always happy to be with us, but also, like me, he was probably someone who liked to protect the people he liked. That was probably what drove him to sacrificing himself to protect us from those town's guards, people, humans. That's the best I could say. That's what drove him, protecting the people that actually cared about him.
Taween, when your friend passed, we spoke to his spirit. We asked him, but you asked him
Yeah,
things of his spirit directly, beyond the pale.
Yeah.
We even retained his body for some time, in the hopes that we could honor him the way he would wish to be honored. A spirit does not speak if it does not want to be heard, and one who is not in rest has much to say, but those that do rest, they have nothing to speak of to the living anymore. But you would have not been able to speak to him that night had he not wished you to.
Okay.
In fact, since that day, he has stayed with you. He has protected you. He's been by your side this whole time. All of you come here for various reasons, but much are the same. They are to learn, they are to grow, they are to flow into something better than what you once were. Each of these feelings are like energy. The pleasant ones nourish, ones of irritation destroy. But when you all become aware of why and what you wish to gain, these energies can be transformed. So to the spirits that witness this, the spirits that lie here, that seek proof of what I once was, hear their stories, hear their desire for life, for balance, for the flow of things to not become stagnant and stale. To discover themselves in each other's. Let them do it together. And with that, Sin claps his hands above his head, and the water that is falling from him just explodes out in every direction at the room. For a moment, it reveals all of these ghostly figures all standing around you. And Taween, next to you, you see the figure of Noth standing before you.
Hey,
He
you actually
nods.
hear?
Yeah, he nodded.
Oh, I. Hey. Oh,
Puts his hand over his heart and then puts it on yours.
I miss you too.
You see him pull his falchion and he looks at it and he holds it out to you.
He would reach out, grab it, I guess.
As you grab hold of his form, you feel this rush of energy enter you, Tawin. This energy swirls and his form dissipates as it kind of wafts into you. You hear somewhere in the back of your mind, I am with you. And I always
Oh.
shall.
Okay. But, what?
You hear, this man has given me gift of
Oh,
choice. I choose to protect you so that you may protect others and give them the tribes they need. Will you accept my protection? Will you
that
allow
means
me to work with you?
that means you'll be with me. We could continue what we had, sure. Yeah, I accept your protection.
All of the other ghostly forms in the room, as you say, I accept your protection, you see smiles creep across their face. You see the angry kind of stances and forms they had relax as they look around to each other quizzically. And then they look to Sin and to each of you, considering the weight of your feelings and beliefs and words. And then one by one, you see them step into the pool. And with each one that steps in after the other, the pool begins to glow a soft light until they are all gone. And the room falls back to silence.
Huh.
That was something.
Is Taween holding a sword?
No, he's not.
Okay, I was curious whether it was real or not.
His possession was real, though.
Do we do it, Sin?
Halloween is pretty much already dead. He doesn't care.
I think that was enough for them. Between your words, and you can see he looks like as he's beginning to stand up out of the pool, he's having trouble. It's hard for him. He seems weak.
Try to help him.
As you help him out. Well, that is probably one of the last miracles I will be performing.
Oh, it was a good one.
I hope it works out for the two of you, he says towards you, Tawin.
I don't know what you really did, but I'm happy to hear his voice again.
I don't know what happened either, exactly, but I gave him the choice to choose. I broke the bonds he had.
Well, I will thank you for this.
The pool should be holy now. Should help us gain entrance to the final chambers we seek here.
Alright. Is there anything we should know about this final chamber.
No. No. You will see when we get there.
RJ, do you have a couple of bottles to put some of the holy water in?
I suspect it needs to stay.
Well,
Probably what Nith said.
Sin just said that we would need it for the rooms ahead. I don't think we can carry the water fountain with us.
Oh, well, guess I can. Hey,
Sin, should we take some? Or is it a passage?
You will need to cleanse yourself.
Sounds simple enough. Can you,
Nothing, just step into the pool.
Yeah.
Yep. I do my cleansing ritual. Pretty much do that anyway.
I wash myself?
I'll step out.
Then I wash myself.
Mm-hmm.
I'll wash myself. And step out. Do I burst into flames?
No.
Why would you burst into flames?
I don't know. I hired a hitman. Not that I've told anyone about that.
No, you have not. But out of character. How is Fizz feeling after a day off the ship?
Oh, yeah. That's a good question. I would say that we're not quite 24 hours off the boat yet. Because
No.
it took us 8 hours to get there. We probably spent a couple hours mucking about.
Mm-hmm.
And then we went back to bed. So we're
8
probably
hours.
around the...
It's probably 24 hours.
Around 24 hours, most likely.
Not quite.
Yeah, it's really close.
Yeah, it's close, but not quite.
Close, but not quite. Will it be 24 hours before we get to the back to the boat? That is certainly correct.
What about Taween?
Is Taween finally gonna take a bath?
What do you mean? I take baths all the time. I'm good.
So you don't go in?
Did it do anything? You guys okay?
Well, we're cleaner. And after sleeping in that room, I feel a lot better.
Go in it? I don't know.
Was
Did
I,
Whatever.
I go ahead.
I go in.
Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna help you.
I was gonna mouth the Nither to push him in.
Yep, I was gonna help him in.
Taween, you step into the pool and begin to cleanse yourself. And this water, any of your like cuts that are still slightly open, and where it touches your blood, it begins to burn and hurt. Not damage-wise, but it is painful.
Ah. Hurts. The fuck did I get in here? Good step out.
hurts?
Yeah,
There.
it's like kind of like sometimes when you hit me with that disinfectant for my wounds, kind of stung.
Oh. I take a bit of the blood and put it into a little petri dish and take a bit of the water and it's like,
The blood boils over.
looks like it's your blood is boiling from the water.
It's more so that it boils the water off, but it winds up
Oh,
bubbling and foaming them both together until the water is dissipated and the blood remains.
that's interesting.
You know what? I think I'm going to stay away from holy water for now on.
Probably a good idea, friend.
Like I was said earlier, I'm probably closer to being dead than alive most of the time.
Wizard just says, "Yeah, you guys seem clean. I'm good."
And I say to Neth, Fisherman!
I'm gonna splash him.
I'm melting.
Are
I'm
you splashing
melting.
wizard? Is that what I heard?
Yeah, I guess.
Like Dorothy from Wizard of Oz.
All right, no.
Ooh.
Just goes,
Somebody pretty.
God, what? Why did you splash me? I said I was fine.
Because it sounds like we need to be cleansed to get into these
Great. Now I'm wet
rooms.
and I'm clean and my book might be wet. Are you happy now?
Kinda.
I shake my head. Then I look at Willie.
Willie just looks at you fearfully.
I reach out my hand.
Oh no. He resists.
Hmm?
He resists.
Grab him. Grab him.
He didn't take my hand.
No, he doesn't.
I take up a handful of water and face it towards him.
I'm good. I'm good. I don't want to be wet.
I'll put it back in the pool. I signed to RJ. I'll tell you later.
Okay. I nod.
Nudge Taween.
This door is open. So it's still slightly ajar.
Yep. That's why I nudged him. He's blocking the door.
If I take a sip of the water, how does that make me feel?
It tastes fantastic.
Okay, I'm gonna take out my water skin and dump out the water that's in there and fill it up with holy water.
Excellent. Also, roll me a d6. You gain
Nice.
five vigor.
Because you drank some. Nice.
A water skin of
Holy water.
If it works.
Drink it all.
Oh, if we
How
get
we
out
got
of here,
lost.
I have plans for it. So
I nudge
get your holy
Taween.
water.
Nudge, nudge, nudge.
What? What?
pointing out down the doorway.
Oh, all right. I'll start working.
The statue at the end of this hallway that you see. It's of a figure that looks somewhat like Sin, but much younger, wearing the robes that you found on the corpses here with the same symbol etched into it.
We got stairs to the right and the hallway to the left.
There's a stairwell that goes down, and you see a door at the end of it.
It's the way we came.
And this you
RJ.
said is a door? This is a door here, this little notch thing?
Yes.
Or do we not
there's-
see it?
No,
Okay.
there's a doorway here as well. Both of these doors here and here, you can see on the outside of them there are more of these swirling runic lines, and in the center there are two handprints, kind of indentations of where hands would go. But you see no handles themselves.
But they're probably a little high for RJ to reach.
Perhaps, but he could still reach them if he wished.
I try to reach them.
Alright. You put your hands on them, and as you are since you are cleansed, when your hands touch them, they glow a soft white light. All of the runes flare along the doors themselves, and they swing open and inward. Beyond, the first thing that you catch, RJ, is a reflection of yourself staring back at you.
I walk up and get closer.
You step into the room and you look around, and you see multiple reflections of yourself. Make a perception check. As you look, each one of these pedestals has a mirror affixed to the wall above it. There's a bit of a bowl-like divot in each of these little pedestal things. And RJ, as you're walking in and you look into this one, you see the reflection of yourself, but you see that your clothing is green. You step into the room and start to look around and see the others, and when you look into this one, you're wearing this indigo-like clothing. When you look into this one, your clothing is red. When you look into this one, yellow.
If you're pointing out which ones I'm looking at, it's not showing up on my map.
No, that's the specifics don't matter.
Okay.
But as you look into each one, you see yourself wearing varying colors of clothing. Other than that, it is the same you.
Try to touch one of the mirrors.
Seems like a mirror.
They're all different clothing than what I'm wearing, right?
Yep. Each one shows you in a different colored set of the same clothing you're wearing, just differently colored.
And are they doing what I'm doing right now?
Yep. It's all in that way. It's still look like a mirror.
Set up a drink and identify formula extract.
Okay.
I look at the mirrors to see if magic's swirling within them.
Yep.
Spellcraft and Knowledge Arcana.
Okay. Yep.
Spellcraft plus 20 because it's identify.
Indeed. There's conjuration magic about each of these mirrors, as well as illusion magic about each of these mirrors. As for the spellcraft check, it seems part of it is that the wearer, the illusory part, is the different colors that you're seeing yourself under. When you look into each one, that's one magical aspect of them. There's another magical aspect as well. The conjuration side of things. There's some sort of function to the mirrors themselves, but it is not complete. And that part of this effect is not active.
Okay. Would I know how to activate it?
Have fun with the puzzle. Your skill check is of no use here. Use your brain.
So different colors. Oh, in rainbow? RGB type thing?
These are the colors you see.
Before I start solving, I say, anyone want to see something really cool?
Yeah.
Each of you, as you step in, see yourselves wearing the same clothing you're wearing, but in the varying colors that are listed there.
You said that these things in front of the mirrors, what do they look like?
They're like little pedestals, and each pedestal has a small bowl-like divot on them.
Like what size divot?
This big or so. About half the size of a fist, perhaps.
What did you find?
Some type of conjuration magics that are incomplete. Illusions.
No. In your pack.
Oh, right.
The gems.
Take out the gems.
Mm-hmm.
I put the sapphire gem in the mirror that shows me as blue.
Yep.
And then I do the same with the indigo gem.
Yep.
And the said it was yellow, right?
Orange.
Orange. Then I put that into the orange.
You have 3 gems and 3 mirrors.
Missing 3.
Mm-hmm.
It's scavenger hunt.
4.
Maybe.
What? 1, 2, 3. Oh, missing 4. Okay.
Yeah.
Scavenger hunt.
Perhaps.
I start heading up.
I'm going to adjust my sleeves and make my clothes mimic the colors of the robes that I've seen. So the light blue on the top and the dark blue on the bottom.
Okay. They still
Does anything
appear
change?
in the mirror. They still appear. Well, it appears overridden and changed by the color the mirror presents.
Okay. Well, then it must be a scavenger hunt. Let's go. Onward to the basement.
So I mean, we're going on a scavenger hunt to find gems.
All right.
Did we leave those? Did we leave those there, or did you
Yeah,
grab
I
them?
just left them. I left them there.
Okay.
Who's gonna take them? Other than the ghosts. But they all went into the pool to make it holy, so.
Okay.
Put down a trap in case we need it.
Sure. Here's the Thunderstone.
Oh. I don't know what I'm going to use to actually make this trap.
Well, I have rope. And a hat.
I don't think a trap matters. Let's see where this goes.
All right.
Vithian, the door at the bottom of this staircase has similar handprints to the one RJ just opened.
All right, I'm feeling bold. I walk up and press it.
You can now see this chamber. There are the two statues in this room, both like the other statue in the hallway, that are in the resemblance of a younger sin-like image. However, the one on your guys' right, the left side of this room on the map itself, it looks like it is painted. Hold on. One is painted white and resembles the white Astron. It appears like Sin, but in a much younger form. And there are other colors on the other one to represent more mortal form. It's skin colored. Make perception checks. Also, between the two statues and upon a platform lies what looks to be a white stone table made of white Astron. And it holds, and you can't, and yeah, that's what you see from there. Fizz, each of these statues in this room have a gem in their eye.
Those statues have gems. And seeing that, I'm going to turn around and I'm also going to take a look at this statue to see if it has a gem inside of it.
Roll. Well, I mean, you don't have to roll because you're specifically looking for something, and it does.
Does
This
it
one
have
in
a
the
gem?
hallway
Or...
has an amethyst. This left one has a ruby, and this right one in the main room has a topaz.
Oh.
All we're missing is green.
As you guys are filtering into this, oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just so I'm gonna definitely grab the amethyst one, but did somebody else grab the ruby and the topaz from these? I will
I am
pointed
small.
them out.
I am small.
Okay. Can I reach their eyes and grab it, or?
Yeah, you reach up and you have to like pry them out a bit, but they come out.
Haha! Now I have 3 gems.
As you turn around and you're like, "Aha! I've got these gems." You just see Sin with a smile on his face.
Fistful of gems. Hey, you know, I wonder if we could have used some of our Astrons for some of the colors.
Wilson, what's this room?
Like you said, we have all but green, but okay, go ahead.
Sin,
But
as you guys are prying gemstones out of statues around the area, is stepping up to the bottom of these stairs. He looks up at the white table. This is where I needed to be. This is that door. Fizz has another handprint to open.
oh, I didn't even realize that was a door.
Yep, there's a door right here between these two
Okay.
pillars. Sin sighs and steps up. RJ, as you're getting closer and you see the table, you can see that it's a stone flat table with a divot, like an indentation where one may lay.
Is this the place where you're going to be resting?
Yes, this should connect me and allow me to see what is going on. But first, that door there, and he mentions the one I pointed out to you, Fizz. Behind it, you might find something useful to you all. You may have it.
Excellent.
And good luck with the gem. He smiles. I'll be waiting here when you are ready.
I'll put my hands on the door. Push it open.
The runes flare. It swings open. The runes in the hallway begin to flitter.
Fizz, you sure you want to go in first?
He said it was it was something useful that we could just have. I don't think there's any danger in there. Sid wouldn't send us towards danger, would he?
Zen also hasn't been here for 1,000 cycles.
Oh hey. Tyween or Nithirn. Do you wanna take the lead?
Sure. One of us.
Both of you.
Both of you.
Nithyan, you step into this room, and it has this long altar-like table on the back side. There are various things on the table and on the sides propped up against the altar. You see handfuls of coins of various types, as well as a green gem glittering from within them. As you all filter in and begin to look greedily, not greedily, but as you begin to look upon the things Finn says that you can have, you'll pick it up there next
Oh,
See?
oh no, what's that puzzle now?
time.
Yeah.
Yeah, since Nithyan would have just only picked up the green gem, but then she would have turned around and handed it to RJ.
Yeah, if we want to go for a couple more minutes, if you wanted to do that, RJ.
Yes, I want to know what's in that
Yep.
stupid puzzle before.
Yep. I'll describe the rest of the stuff in this room later.
Okay. I will be up later, but first, puzzle time.
All right, so we all go running back to the puzzle after
Yeah.
we did
After
everything.
picking up-
Right.
You see
Scrape in the
gem,
room of it.
grab that first and bolt.
Oh no, I'm scraping the room of anything
Oh yeah. You
valuable.
just start stuffing
And
into
we
your
can
pack.
describe that later.
That's for later, Fizz. Right now, it's puzzle time. We're all gonna take that stuff anyways. It was given by a friend.
You don't
I'm
step
gonna-
in, Taween? There you go.
I'll put the amethyst and the purple in front of the purple mirror, the ruby in front of the red, the topaz. Now, RJ, I think the topaz is supposed to go in blue, and the sapphire is supposed to go in indigo, because topaz is a pretty light blue.
Topaz is yellow.
Yellow.
Topaz is yellow? Oh.
I
Are you sure?
not help with this at all.
Yeah. The topaz is yellow.
Okay.
Yellow topaz.
Well, then it goes in front of the yellow.
And then the green.
Then the green.
Okay. Just saying, it's usually blue topaz, but I guess it can be yellow. But
As you slot the final gem into its space, who is standing most central to the room?
Would probably be Nith or me. Or Nith for now.
How we staying by the door?
It would be most central because I'm still putting in the green.
Okay. Nithirin, a light begins to coalesce around you. Each of the gems begin to glow brightly. And in each of your reflections, you begin to see this aura of that color kind of start to coalesce around you. A little light comes from each of the mirrors, and you feel the weight of something fall upon your shoulders, Nithirin, around your shoulders. As you guys look around and you see that Nithirin is wearing a brightly colored half cloak woven of countless feathers of varying colors of the rainbow.
It's weird seeing that being so colorful.
I'm always colorful.
You're very colorful in one color.
Yeah, very green and red. All right. What's in there? What's
It looks
this?
good on you.
Certainly
know.
something magical if it appeared on you.
Well, what is it?
Well, I used up my identify for the day, so let's go get Wiz's room.
I can do this. I cast detect magic. Let's stare at Nithirin.
And as you see that the cloak is magical, that is where we pick it next week.
There you go.
There you go. That's fun. That was good.
No one died.
Fizz thought we were going to die, though.
And a room full of stuff.
I didn't think that puzzle was going to be too hard. It was more about the fact if you passed up any of the gems, you may not have been able to solve it.
Yeah. No, the puzzle, once the gems made sense with the colors, yeah, that was good.
Yep. If you hadn't put that together and you just pocketed those earlier, then you may not have made the connection, and it may not have made any sense. Lots more info dump.
Yeah.
We have a possessed Taween now.
Yeah.
Oh,
What do you think about that, Tim?
We'll see what happens.
Tim, we have to have a conversation soon again.
You now must take every other level and fight her because Noth wants you to train as a fighter more often.
You have to retrain a couple of your skill points into survival because he still thinks he's a better hunter than you.
No, my initial thought is that I mean, obviously me and Tim will come up with something, but we'll see what kind of connection this takes the shape of.
Yeah.
All right.
100% he can't go into another shop though.
If he does, he's gonna be berated for it, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll
Why
say.
are you shopping?
Shopping
No
again?
time for shopping.
Why do you torment me with this?
Just the entire time.
Someday.
That was good. I'll talk to you guys later.
Yeah.
Alrighty.